So welcome to another episode of the Vestal Golden Bear video podcast. This is episode 13, and it'll air somewhere around June 17th of 2022. So really appreciate you being here with us, and I'm really excited and honored to have with me our Vestal High School principal, Mrs. Dawn Young. Dawn and I go back quite a ways, and we've worked together, and she's an awesome asset to our school district. So Dawn, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Definitely.
Together again.
I know, right? And, it's just so funny because we reached out to a lot of folks and said, who wants to be on the show? And Dawn told me probably months ago, yes, I will. And, it's just kind of, I totally missed the boat on that. And so Dawn, we were talking just a couple weeks ago. She's like, is that invitation still? Yes, it is. So happy to have you here. And sorry we haven't had you on sooner.
That's okay. I was probably busy contact tracing.
I'm sure you were. Yes.
So now we get to talk about the fun stuff because we're back to fun stuff here in Vestal.
Certainly are. Yeah. And one thing I just always want to say is, how great Vestal School District is, how awesome it is for our students and our staff, everyone here in our school community. And you're a big part of that. So thank you so much ahead of time for everything that you do here for our district or high school. And you help in so many ways. And just a collaboration between district office and the building. And I know you asking questions, I ask you questions back and forth. It's a constant communication, and it's fantastic. So it takes exceptional people like you in our district to have an exceptional district. So thanks, Dawn.
It's been a great process. So we've been together for 5 years now.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
We wouldn't have that back and forth if you hadn't hired me 5 years ago.
That's true. I remember walking out of the interview. You were interviewing, we were talking in the hallway.
Me too.
Yeah, it was great. And I kept thinking to myself, boy, I hope she says yes when the offer goes out.
Yeah, that was a great day.
Yeah, really.
It felt like a good fit for both of us.
100%. Yeah. And then, so when I was principal to high school, you came as assistant principal, and it just clicked right from the beginning. Obviously, we had Mike Rotundi there and Debbie Caddick, and they were working to help, with that team, and it was fantastic. And you have an excellent background in a lot of different areas that really contributed to the success immediately. Right to high school, you jumped right in, didn't miss a beat, and it was an excellent team with you and I for quite a while there.
Well, it's funny how, things that are just in your nature kind of come out over time.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a teacher,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I know. When I was a kid, I never wanted to be a teacher. And I had teachers starting in about 4th grade that would say, you would be an awesome teacher. I say, I'm never going to be a teacher. My mother's a teacher. I'm not going to be a teacher. Well, go through high school, get to the end of college. Guess what? I changed my mind, went into teaching.
What did you study in college for undergrad?
I studied English literature.
Oh, okay.
So I did a lot of reading, a lot of writing.
Yeah.
At one point, I was going to switch gears and go into computer programming, believe it or not, because I love math as much as I love writing and reading. And I had a hard time picking a subject.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So when I went into teaching, my first teaching job was actually in Binghamton in the Challenge Enrichment Program.
Oh, yes. I did know that.
So it gave me a lot of opportunity to teach every subject.
Right.
I never got bored. Loved working with community partners and, students of all different levels, working with teachers, doing professional development. I really had, a great foundation in Binghamton.
Yeah.
But I never worked at the high school level. So when the position working with you came up, it was pretty exciting. I wanted to go to a high school that really was focused on excellence in academics.
Right.
And then all the wraparound supports in the arts and music and, sports. You name it, and it seems like we have it here.
You really do.
It's just every kid can find their niche.
Yeah, you really can with all our high-level programs there, and there's something for every student to be involved with. Yeah,
absolutely,
totally. Yeah,
that's always our first conversation when we see kids if they're not connected with someone. Well, what do you like to do? We have a club for you. We have an activity. Let's hook you up with someone who's into that already. And try to make sure that they're part of the Vestal family. That really is the best way to describe the high school.
Yeah, really is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I guess I never realized you didn't want to be a teacher. That's so cool. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm sure you've impacted a ton of people when you were teaching. I know you are now as an administrator. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way now, but just goes to show when you're a kid, you just got to experience life and see where it takes you. And you will find your passion if you're open to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's so true. So also, before you came to Vestal, though, you were dealing with technology at Binghamton School District, correct?
Yeah, I was the director of instructional technology.
That's a huge job.
It was. Yeah. We were in the middle of doing the one-to-one conversion.
Okay.
A lot of digital citizenship.
Right.
I worked with the librarians and the challenge teachers and all levels, pre-K through 12, just integrating appropriate ways to use technology.
Man.
Really it was fantastic. I worked with a lot of different professionals and, plans to try to integrate things so that there was equitable practices and that all students had an opportunity to learn how to use those devices appropriately and, connect with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that education, using the technology in the classroom, it really enhances our education. And I know you've also had some experience with, was it School Tool or eSchool? School Tool there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, I mean, when you came here, your experience with School Tool was like, wow, it really helped us also because we transitioned from eSchool to School Tool probably about the time you were coming.
Yeah, maybe the second year.
Yeah, exactly. So that was great. When you came in, you had a ton of experience. It could really help us. Yeah, that was.
Well, it's been particularly helpful, I think, over the last, couple of years with all the differences that the state keeps changing for reporting things, for attendance and, grades and all these different safety nets that they're putting in place because of the pandemic and finding ways to make sure student records are accurately reflected with those.
Especially with the Regents exams, whether they're counting or not. And for graduation purposes.
Yeah, we're gearing up for Regents now.
I know, right? I do miss those days of in a building because it is kind of cool, but maybe I don't miss those days. That's
I'll tell you, we had a great turnout though last year. We only gave the 4 exams that were required. But, for each of those exams, we had over 70% of our students show up to take those tests. It was the highest in the region, I believe.
When they didn't have to. Correct.
And they didn't have to.
Right.
Nope, they just had an opportunity to raise their grades and to help us as a school figure out where are the gaps, what do they know, how do we need to adjust curriculum. Really, it just shows how much our families and our students partner with us to make sure we have the best education possible here.
Yeah. And that is so important. I know we never say we want exams or test scores to drive, and we don't, because we always look at our curriculum. We teach a high-level curriculum, and then at such a high level, then, oh, by the way, our students do well on these state assessments because we teach beyond that, which is awesome. But you're right. When the students show up to take those tests, they didn't have to. They show up before Vestal School District, and they sit there for a couple hours and they write those exams, and then. But it shows us where we are. And I always enjoy look at where our scores fall compared to other districts in our region and the state, and we use it as a guide to help us move forward. And working with professionals in our area that if we need to enhance curriculum or some instructional approaches, then we do that. So it really does.
We have some time in the summer to adjust.
Right, informs our decision making going forward, which is awesome. And we all, pursuit of excellence. Always want to stay on top. Yeah, and that's the key part of it. Yeah.
So you heard about our students with the seal of biliteracy this year.
Holy cow. Is that amazing?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
26, I believe.
Yeah. And so you want to talk about seal biliteracy? So maybe our audience doesn't know.
Well, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, but every year we double the number of students that earn this. And basically they have to demonstrate proficiency in English and one other language in reading, writing, speaking, and listening standards.
Wow.
And so, we really have been strategic about targeting not just the languages that we teach at Vestal High School, Spanish, French, and German, but also bringing in our families and the languages that are spoken at home, really trying to say, the culture and the language that's rich at home should be acknowledged here at our school. That is part of what makes us a really rich cultural school.
It is. Isn't it amazing?
And we have a student this year for 5 languages. 5.
So I was talking to Patrick Clark, who's our assistant superintendent for instruction. He was saying that New York State has never had someone with 5. and they had to come up with a term for it, right?
Yes.
They're using it. Is it penta? They decided on?
Yeah, pentalingual.
Yeah, pentalingual. That's amazing.
Well, a couple of years ago, they never had a student with four languages. Correct. And Vestal had that too.
And we were the first.
Quad literacy.
Yes. So we were the first in the state to have the quad literacy, and now the first in the state to have penta. Yep. I mean, that's when I'm always saying Vestal is awesome, we really are awesome. And it's the families and our community that help make us awesome, and everyone that works there. That's great.
And we're adding a new seal this year too, the seal of civic readiness.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Okay. Yep. How's that going?
Great.
Is it?
Great. Brian Dallin, our participation in government teacher, is heading that up, but we're doing that as an initiative throughout all the years of high school, because you can earn it over multiple years, including our middle school years. So they're also doing some projects down there. But we're going to have graduates this year. We're a pilot school this year.
Right.
But I want to say our number is over 150 that's going to earn it. So
wow, that's awesome.
It'll be interesting to see how we compare against the state.
Yeah. And so now you get to incorporate that into graduation.
Yes. Yeah. We're starting to run out of room on the diploma for our seals.
That's right. That's great. Well, that's awesome. We had to run out of room because of all our accomplishments of our students.
Sure is.
That's fantastic. So I'm just going back thinking about days when you and I were at the high school, and we always tell this story to a lot of people. We just told it the other day, but I'll start. You can finish however you want to do this. But so I know if anyone understands a master's schedule at high school, it is very complex, and it's a huge ordeal. And we usually have Becky Martino, a counselor. She helps us with it, right? She's great with it. But one evening, you and I think we're getting close to the end.
Getting close.
And we're trying to put the little next few pieces together. And we just kept saying, we're going to get through this. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. And it's late at night.
It was like 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, right.
Yeah.
And we both look at each other. We're kind of like, we haven't eaten anything since like lunchtime or something.
This is like noon.
And this is like in the summer. And so
I said I was hungry, and you said, I have one hard-boiled egg. We could split it. And we realized how much we've sacrificed for Vestal High School.
100%.
That was a pretty low moment.
And I think I did cut that up, but I think you did not.
Yes, I think I said, you go ahead. You take the whole egg, Cliff.
And normally I have like granola bars or something on my desk, but at some point we didn't have anything that day. But that was great. I mean, that's just the dedication, and that's how I know you is always working hard. And we always have another story also we have to say about the first all-nighter, right? When you... we can't let that one go.
Oh, no. Yes, my first experience with the all-nighter, you go to prom, you chaperone there, and then the all-nighter, which goes until 5 a.m.
Right.
Well, I'm not much of a night owl, but, we get there and it's all exciting. It's my first time. I'm trying to be, on the ball,
running all
energy.
Over the place.
We get back to the high school and, there's so much food. I mean, so much food. So you're sampling this. And, well, I think I must have had a sugar high. And then I crashed. So I kind of snuck into my office. And next thing I know, Cliff is saying, Dawn, you okay? You okay? And I'm sleeping in my chair.
It was so funny because I think I was calling you on the walkie-talkie and I didn't hear from her. So so I check in the office and you took a little break.
Yep.
But I think we all been there that first all-nighter. I mean, it's a long night because you're right. You're there for the whole prom. Then you come back. You're helping to get things set for the all-nighter at the high school. Yeah. And it's always at 3 o'clock time.
Yeah,
you just,
3 o'clock.
All of a sudden, you're just like... but then once you get like 3:30, 3:45, your kind of energy picks up and away you go, right?
And then it's time for the hypnotist.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Right. And that's when a lot of kids fall asleep, not being hypnotized, but you see them in the audience, you're like, because they're seated, So
I have one more story, and I brought a picture with me.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we're all about school spirit.
We are.
And, sometimes we have our spirit days. Do you remember when you and I won first and second place?
Goodness. Yeah.
In the sweater contest?
The ugly sweater. Yeah.
So I printed it out. I didn't put it in a frame for you, but I printed it out.
That's awesome. Oh, my gosh.
This was our winning entry.
That's right.
You'll have to send it.
Yeah, so I will send you it digitally, but that's for you to remember.
I totally remember
Cliff had his... gingerbread man suit.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And it says, oh, snap, and one of his legs is broken off.
Right.
And I was wearing my gingerbread outfit. We did not plan this.
Not at all.
And we just showed up this way. So that's me pretending like my leg was broken off.
That is so cool. What an awesome picture.
So
well,
I
thank
brought
you so
that for
much.
you.
That's good for the inbox.
It is good for the inbox.
Yeah.
What do we do next with it, Dylan?
I don't know. Maybe that becomes our new background.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah. You know, I haven't really worn, I'm over at central office and, you know, it's kind of, I don't know,
Yeah?
I haven't really felt like I should wear that at central office, this suit, probably one of the last times I wore it.
Well, next time when it's
I'll
that
have to
Spirit
come
Week, you'll
over
have
to
to
the
come
high
over
school.
and visit on that day.
Yeah.
And
Well, thank you for bringing that. That is fantastic.
yeah, so
That's
I thought
awesome.
you'd like to have those memories of the school spirit,
Yeah.
you know, getting into
100%.
it. We try to model that for the kids too.
Totally. Yeah. You know, and Don, something else I think was so great working with you, and is that, you know, the decision making, we always talk about shared decision making, but if I would have an idea, say, okay, hey, look, I think administratively we want to go in this direction. And I always could count on you to say, I hear what you're saying, but you know what, have you thought of something else? And I think that collaborative approach where you're looking to make the very best decisions and you have a team that's working together, I always valued that, because then we knew at the end we had the very best decision going forward, and it was a collective decision with thinking of all stakeholders in mind, and obviously always what's the best for students, you know?
Yeah.
And I always appreciated that in the building, and, you know, working in a team like that when you had high level individuals like yourself that are working, and every day we knew that there's an emergency, and we've had our share of emergencies, had our share of, you know, student situations that we've had to really address, and it would tax our administrative backgrounds and how we'd approach this. And that's a key thing. And I know you've carried that on with your team now at the high school, and it is a very high level approach that we always take. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's.
We're lucky we have such wonderful student leaders too.
That's true.
So, you know, we do try to embrace their ideas and
Yeah.
not say yes or no, but say, okay, how can we incorporate that into our larger school
know,
mission? And that's
right? What
makes the school become our school
It really does. Yeah,
as a community.
I know.
And
yeah.
I'll tell you, it's wonderful to be out there in the evenings. And if you're sitting in the stadium, you see all the cars going in and out now. It really is the center of the community. It's great.
It is. Yeah.
We're getting back that way.
Yeah, and I'm going back a few years when you talk about, you know, student decisions with that walkout, right, a number of years ago. And that's when we had other people say, you absolutely do not want to allow the student to do this. And we said, no, we trust our students. And remember, we met with the student leadership team. We came in, and we worked together, and we had a really fantastic walkout that was so well organized, student driven, and it was so meaningful. It went out with the what was that? I forget the school. The Douglas. Yeah, what am I saying?
Douglas.
Marjorie Douglas.
Marjorie Douglas School in Florida, and we had all the pictures of all the victims that were. No longer with us. And that was really what a great thing. That was all student driven.
So we're currently starting a new initiative for 10 acts of kindness in honor of the 10 victims from the recent shooting up in Buffalo.
Very nice.
And so our students are going to be logging those things to do each act of kindness in honor of someone else.
That's nice.
So we're going to be doing that.
What a great caring...
First week in June.
Is it?
Week in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a caring school community we have here. Our students are always looking at ways to help and volunteer.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So, I know we've been going quite a while now, huh, Dylan? Right? So,
We've got 20 minutes on.
20 minutes in? Okay.
Jeez, we could talk all day.
We really could. There's a lot of different stories we could tell.
We could talk
obviously.
about wonderful things at Vestal.
That's true. Yeah, we do have a lot of
We got a
great
bunch of
things.
sectional games this week, too.
Oh, we do. That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Lacrosse coming up,
Yep.
right? It's baseball, softball, they're in.
Softball, I know. I'm not sure about baseball.
Okay. And then track, obviously.
Yep.
We usually do well in track. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tennis, I think we did. Did they finish tennis
I think
already?
tennis is finished.
Yeah. I heard that we did okay in that also.
They did great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. It's fun. That's what makes a high
Golf,
school.
I think we had a student that made the
golf.
states meet
Oh,
for
really?
golf, too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Coming up next weekend?
Yeah.
The unified sports.
Oh, then unified sports.
Unified sports, yep.
Yeah.
Senior night is tonight.
Tonight? Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That'd be fun. And then you have other ones like FBLA doing really well.
Yep,
right?
they're going to Worlds.
Odyssey to Mind. I think there's
Going to Worlds. 3 teams.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Vestal's where it's at, right?
It's hard to keep up.
I know.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, all the accomplishments. It's fantastic. So, all right. So just thinking about Vestal and what's great. Anything else you'd want to add of, think of your tenure here at Vestal? And, I'm always, shouting from the rooftops how great Vestal is, and we're in the pride. I know you do also. Is there anything else you want to add, about your work here at Vestal and, how it's so great and wonderful?
I just think everybody here is really invested in all of our success, and it really is a community effort.
Yeah.
The teachers are amazing. Many of the teachers, they live here. They are all in.
Right.
We've had so many different events to try to celebrate our students, particularly in the last 2 years, and people just come together. They give of their time. They give of their hearts.
Right.
And our students are just the most resilient, amazing kids. It's just every day you go to work and you just have fun with them.
Yeah.
Even if it's an off day, but the kids are just, they're where it's at.
They are,
and they're going to be great leaders one day. We're all going to be lucky to be taking care of this generation coming through.
Cool? Yeah, it is so neat.
Yeah.
I know the student accomplishments. And you know what, I always think when you walk up to the Vestal High School and you just look at the infrastructure, number one, every day I used to do that and be like, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. It looks like a junior college to me. I always think about it like that. It has that atmosphere like you're kind of going to a college,
Yeah.
And I do believe the students look at it that way and look at it as they have such an opportunity for great educational experience that can propel them beyond school, no matter if it's careers, military, going into college, university. Yeah, and it's nice to have that. It's great that the staff, and you're talking about the staff volunteering. I stopped in at the junior prom, and I was amazed. There were there was a ton of staff just came out to help and volunteer and be there. And I spent I don't know how long they're just talking to people I haven't seen in a while, and it was great. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Well, we've got honors night coming up too with all the scholarships.
Yeah.
So,
yes, that's coming up. Yeah.
All those kids moving on to different wonderful college institutions.
And it's investor dollars for scholars. They do an awful lot of work for that. Yeah, a lot of
I
money.
think we have almost 200 seniors that are going to be receiving something.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. And
all the end of the year celebrations. So we got senior prom coming up too.
Senior prom.
We're going to have to recruit some chaperones for that.
I know, right? Is that into McKinley?
Yes.
Or it is still. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice venue for that. Yeah. And then back to the high school for the
back to the high school for the all-nighter.
Yeah. That's great.
I think it's A Night in Paris is the theme for the all-nighter.
That's neat. Yeah. And then you have senior trip.
That's going to go to Hershey Park this year.
Hershey Park,
we changed the venue a little bit.
It's a little bit closer. It's probably better than driving all the way to New Jersey, but it was at Six Flags, right? Yeah.
So the kids were signing up for their buses today, getting their group of friends together so they can ride down together and
that's fun.
Have a lot of fun. I think we got 4 buses going.
Okay.
So
yeah,
good number.
Yeah.
Good number.
And then graduation is back at the event center?
Back at the event center.
Okay.
One ceremony all together. It's going to be wonderful. We have our student speaker lined up, so they're practicing now. And
good.
We have a new special surprise to add into our ceremony this year.
Fantastic.
You'll have to wait and see on graduation day, but we have another student-centered event kind of to feed into that program.
Okay, that's
just
great.
Wait, you'll love it.
Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to it. Sitting at graduation, always so proud when you hear the accomplishments of the students. It's like, oh my goodness, right? I always say I would not want to be anyplace else than a Vestal. It's such a special place. And that culminating, graduation for all the years K through 12, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure the exact number, but I want to say we have over 40 staff that are going to be present to celebrate our graduates, over 40 teachers. Yeah. K through, we invite all the teachers if they would like to wear regalia and be there in that moment of culmination for these students.
Because how proud for them also, right? When they elementary, middle school, and high school, and you've taught the students, and that's great.
And we also have a student who's organizing the senior parades this year.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's going to be going on. Our seniors will be visiting their alma mater elementary school, so they'll be going through Clayton Ave and African Road Elementary and Tioga Hills Elementary and Vestal Hills Elementary and Glenwood Elementary. So And any student that wasn't part of Vestal all the way through can sign up and join in as well.
Just join in. Yeah.
And it's a student that's organizing it. So,
that's great.
Yeah, one of our seniors, she's bringing it back.
That's fantastic.
So we're really excited
That's
to do
really
that.
meaningful. And what a way to motivate younger students to say, hey, someday I want to be doing that.
Yes.
Right?
And I'll shout out to the elementary principals because I put that out and immediately they said, we are in.
Awesome.
Our students are so excited to have them here. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, hey, a lot happening at the end of the year.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
What was the old saying? Say, you're winding down for the end of the year, but at the high school, we always said you're winding up. Yeah, because it's a lot
Winding
happening.
up, energy up.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's a great time. It really is.
It is.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Before we get going any further here, do you want to participate in rapid fire?
Sure, I'll participate in rapid fire.
All right, do something fun here. I know Dylan's looking at us, but the time, so, all right. So we just started this rapid fire probably a couple shoots ago, correct?
2, 3.
Yeah. And so it's really fun and people enjoy it. So I hope you like it, Dawn.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
So I will read, it's just this or that, and you just real quick.
Okay.
What's your thought?
Is there points though? Because if there's points, I want to win.
We could set a timer.
We do have a timer.
We
Because
like competition.
The first one I did, I was like going like wicked slow, and Dylan's like, "Come on, speed it up,
Rapid fire
speed it
means
up."
fast.
It means fast. Like,
Okay.
who knew, right?
All right.
So
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Okay,
Let's see how many
30
we can get
seconds.
through.
Can you see this?
Yes.
we can see it.
Okay.
All right, go. Money or free time?
Free time.
Amusement park or day at the beach?
Day at the beach.
You're at the movies. Candy or popcorn?
Popcorn.
Online shopping or shopping in a store?
Online. 100%.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Okay. Phone call or a text?
Phone call.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Apple. All right. The Office or Parks and Rec?
Neither.
Neither. Okay.
Neither.
Hamburger or taco?
Taco. Walking taco.
All right. Last one. Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple Music.
What did you do?
That was 40 seconds.
40 seconds. That's
I
not
think
bad.
It was better than the last. Oh, who did we just have on here?
Jen and Rob.
Jen and Rob. They got 45 seconds.
Well,
So we beat them.
whoop,
All right. Good job, Don.
we like to be number one.
That's right. Always. And speaking of number one, the highly coveted Golden Bear Pen. Just
Okay.
for you.
All right. This is
Yeah.
the whole reason I'm here.
That's
Vestal
it.
Golden Bears.
You know it.
Maybe one day you may have one too.
That's right. Got to come on the show.
That's right. Got to come on the show.
Hey, Don, this has been a blast. So
It's great.
Thanks so much for bringing this picture that brought back great memories. That's
Yes,
awesome.
I'll send it to you
Cherish that.
digitally.
Please do. All right. Hey, as we always say, stay
Stay
golden.
golden.
Vestal.